Hello, and thank you for joining us for the 109th episode of That Show with Billy Wilson. The show brings together artists, musicians, photographers, personalities, and all sorts of fun, interesting people from around the world on Fridays for a hangout. This episode, we're joined by a number of interesting people, including photographer Deshaun Craddock. And we also have photographer Jordan Oram joining us once again. And we also have photographer and blogger Lotus Carroll. And we also have our special musical guest, Melissa Kaplan, who'll be playing a few songs for us for the last 16 minutes of the hour, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And we also have photographer Tamara Prusner, and I think I said it correctly. Did I? No?
No.
Tamara
Prusner.
Prusner.
Yeah, it's okay. German.
Well, I haven't been known for pronouncing last names. I always mess up at least one person's last name, and we also have Timmy.
But you're consistent, and that's the thing that matters.
Consistently bad.
Yeah, you're consistent.
But maybe if you're on this show for the 50th time, I'll finally pronounce it correctly. And here's Mr. Tibby, the furry co-host of
Tibby
and Billy, the cat and the guy who.
Can you hear him purring?
A little bit.
No, that's a negative, sir. I cannot hear it.
I think I heard a little bit. I actually moved closer, even though I'm wearing headphones.
I know.
I hear that works.
Yeah.
We should have spent some time in the pre-show tuning the audio for Tibby's purr.
That's right. Maximize
I'm going to do the Tibby shoulder press. We can get him up. There we go.
purr efficiency. Oh, there we go. The workout. This show's got it all.
The Tibby shoulder press. And he's pretty
awkward humor. Long gaps of dead space where we look around.
Hey, we haven't done that yet. Don't give away the secrets of later.
Yeah, alert.
I'm horrible with surprises.
I love them.
I have a surprise. I'm not going to tell you.
You're not allowed to show that.
A little later. Oh, yeah, sorry. Lotus said I'm not allowed to show that.
We're on air, and Billy Show will get canceled if you do that.
No!
It's just my mate horn.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about that other surprise you
have. All right, so welcome. Glad you all could make it. Who wants to start? Deshaun?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I heard you have pictures.
I do have pictures.
Can you put it in our...
I'm going to go ahead and do a little screen share thing.
Thank you. It's Friday night. It's that show with Billy Wilson and guests. So I'll use my lower voice.
So are you able to see?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, so, I live in New York City, so it's kind of a really good place to do street photography. And
Just a little bit.
I hear there's a couple photographers there.
There's a couple. There's me and maybe one other person. We met once.
Is it Vivian?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Yeah, so it's just us. But there's lots of cool stuff to see out there, and I work in the financial district, which is where this was taken. So the light gets really nice. This was taken in the winter, and it's really cool because with all the skyscrapers and everything, you have the sun hitting all the windows and creating all these interesting shadows. So that's how I got this shot. Yeah. And same deal. This is also in the financial district. It was after our first of quite a few snowstorms. We had a particularly bad winter this year.
I like how there's a one-way sign above his head pointing the other way, and he's just like going the other way. It's a nice.
Yeah, he's a rebel.
Yeah, he's a badass.
This one was taken during warmer weather, but I kind of like catching people when they're isolated. I feel like New York is such a crowded place. You're always hearing about there being so many people, and it's true. I mean, there are a ton of people in New York, but you can find, isolated people, and I like to capture that when I can.
So you like finding people when they're alone and not looking?
And at an ATM machine like this guy.
Okay, good. Wanted to clarify some of the tips and tricks of photography. Deshaun Craddock.
I love the light and the shadows in this one. I've seen this one of yours before, Deshaun. I really like it.
Thank you.
What is the light source? Like, is there a light above?
It's just the light above his head. He had a good idea. And
And okay.
but no, it's just the light above. There's a light right above him, and then there's the light from the ATM machine itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long was this? A long exposure? Or just
No, it was actually just ISO,
Okay.
and I was using a 105 f2, and it was pretty. It was at I shot it at 2.8, I think. So it was pretty wide open.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I like lines a lot. This is a bridge called Ward's Island Bridge. It connects Ward's Island and Randall's Island to Manhattan. And it's a drawbridge, but when you walk right under it, you can get this view. And
Kind of reminds me of a TIE fighter.
it kind of does. It kind of does. So yeah, usually even in my street photography and stuff, there's usually some kind of geometric element that I like. Here's another more geometric shot. I actually took this a week ago at the last Drink and Click.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. It was kind of inspired by the, I don't know if you guys have seen, there have been these series of pictures in Hong Kong of all the, how densely populated it is and how all the apartments and everything are, stacked vertically. I mean, that's a much more dramatic image, but this was my take on it.
I love the history in here and the different ages and eras, and I love that little water tower on the right. And
Yeah.
I mean, and what's the building like just to the left of the water tower? It's got like that weird facade or front.
Yeah, that building is still under construction.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, so
like
everything's in different stages of completion around here.
And next time you're by it, or when you're there a little while, that won't be in construction anymore. That'll be removed or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Some of the scaffolding will be down and everything. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And more geometry. So yeah, this one I called like night and day. And it is not. It looks like a diptych, but it's not really. It's not a composite or anything. It's a single shot. I was just in the right area at the right time, and I lined it up. And
that is great. I guess that's probably near noon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Good guess.
Thank you. I just throwing it out there.
You're on a roll.
Woohoo!
I also like to shoot in black and white. So, again, this was this past winter. This is in Brooklyn, in the area called Dumbo, which stands for Down Under Manhattan Bridge Overpass.
Dumbo is my favorite area of the city.
It is a beautiful area.
I love it.
It's one of my favorite areas too.
I was going to ask, can you call yourself a street photographer if you're shooting in color? I mean, now black and white. There we go. Okay, and now I see you're a street photographer.
Thank you. Now I've validated myself.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. No, your pictures are beautiful, man.
And this I took from the Manhattan Bridge. There are a few spots where you can kind of wedge your lens in, a space in the fence and find a nice spot. And this is going over Chinatown. And I was really happy the way it turned out with all the people crossing the street. I missed one street on the right.
How long do you wait for your shots? Like
it depends. Like sometimes the light will make me stop. Like this one, I actually stayed here for a little while because I liked the way the light was coming down the street, but it didn't have enough activity for me. So I was here for a little while, just waiting for the right, the right grouping of people, and I would fire off a few shots, and then after a while, I was satisfied, and I would move on to the next place. Sometimes it's really quick, like the one that I showed you that was, half bright and half dark. I only took 2 pictures there, and I left immediately. So sometimes it's just, serendipity.
Are there certain things that catch your eye when you're looking around? Like, are there any themes or things you're noticing in your work?
Well, like I said, I do like geometry. So usually, if I find something that has like really interesting lines, that'll make me stop immediately. I'm a contrast guy, so I like intense shadows as well. So if I can get something that has an interesting, arrangement of light and shadow, that'll make me stop. That usually makes me stop longer because I'll think, okay, this has, a few elements that I need, but it's missing something. It's missing a person or a car or some kind of element, and I'll wait for a while. Let's see, what's next? I don't remember everything. This is a film shot. This is also in Chinatown. This area looks completely different. So all the shops here, they used to, they got shut down. There was like a police raid some years back, and they all got shut down. And this was one of the only times since it got shut down that I saw the gates up because they were starting to renovate. And now it's completely renovated. There's like a coffee shop there and some more souvenir shops. But I'm really glad that I got to capture this and, have it in this kind of in-between state.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's great that you see that, and I think we're seeing that through what you're sharing. A lot of people don't realize the power of the moments where they are.
Yeah.
Whether you walk around there or walk around the neighborhood often, people assume that things will just be the way they are all the time, and they miss those pictures of the fleetingness of our lives.
That's true. I actually shared this earlier today, but this is actually my most popular shot on Google+. I went to Dublin in 2012 on business, and I wasn't going to go to a new country and not take my camera with me. So the first chance I got, I walked out with my tripod, and this was the only place on the map that I knew I had to take a picture. So I went to the Samuel Beckett Bridge, which you see here, and I set up my tripod and took a shot. This was on a trip to LA. This is not, I don't think it's a particularly significant building. I'm sure someone somewhere angry, like, yes it is, I work there. But I just liked the way the light was coming through and, the lines again.
Yeah, that's killer. That's a great minimalist shot. That's really nice.
I'm actually putting a lot of my black and white stuff in I have a solo show coming up at the third week of June in Brooklyn. So a lot of it's all black and white shots. So there's my street photographer cred there. So I'm really excited to be doing that.
That's awesome, man. That's exciting.
I'll just quickly go through some other stuff. So I also do concert photography. Lotus, I know you've seen this one. So I got to shoot Alicia Keys early last year, and that was a ton of fun. So this is one shot from there. Miguel, who opened that show. That's a great
shot. Yeah, you've some great. I see a lot of your stuff on Tumblr, actually.
Yeah, I'm really probably most prominent on Tumblr. I'm there a lot more, and I've been doing the concert stuff a lot more often. This is Mindless Self-Indulgence. Christina Perry.
That's a great shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's killer.
So yeah, I've been working on building up my concert photography portfolio.
I really like this one too, with the backlighting.
Yeah, this group
awesome.
This group had like the most. I was so happy because I already like them as a group, but when I saw them testing out their lighting and I saw how intense it was, like I just smiled, such a big smile. I was like, oh, these pictures are going to come out awesome. Because usually, concert lighting is very challenging, and this was. You could have taken. I don't think you could have taken good pictures with anything at this concert. The lighting was perfect. This is another show, Brother Ali.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to close out with my personal project. I've been doing some abstracts for different New York neighborhoods, and I just do it by moving my camera around using intentional camera movement, and then I process them and come up with these little washes of color for each neighborhood. I've been doing it since 2012, and I'm up to 90 images now.
How many?
90. And I'm not finished.
Yeah, I remember seeing the abstract on Tumblr as well.
Yeah, I actually made a separate Tumblr just for it. So this one's Soho. This one's the Lower East Side. I know you can clearly tell that's what they are.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, it reminds me of, like, this is intentional camera motion. We should do a project with unintentional camera motion where I just need a crash pad, and when I'm going to take a picture, just push me. So, so I don't know when it's coming, and it adds in a different element. It'll be a collaboration.
That would be a good contrast to what I'm doing right now, so go for it. This one's JFK International Airport. And this last one is the most recent one that I did, and this is Crown Heights, and it has kind of a floral look to it, which I thought was fitting.
How often do you remember where you were when you took the shot that you see? Like, do you see elements in there that connect to a place where you took it?
Not always. I mean, I usually it's just going on memory, So I'll know the neighborhood, I can identify the neighborhood. I just remember the image, but
He took the pictures around it, and he can actually see what they are. So when
I've done that sometimes. If I thought I wasn't going to remember,
Yeah.
I'll take like a memory shot. Like, okay, I have to remember where I took this. But usually I don't have to, and I don't really make a point to, because of the nature of the project, I don't make a point to narrow it down to like a specific street or anything. So I'm content with just knowing what neighborhood it was shot in. Yeah.
Right.
But that's all. And thanks guys for looking at all my pictures and.
Thank you for sharing them.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. It's good to finally get to hang out with you, and after seeing your work for so long.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and yeah, it's exciting. Glad to hear about your show, and there's a lot of neat stuff coming up for you.
Thanks.
All right, I think next, Billy, should we move to Lotus? Or
Sure, if Lois wants to go next.
Lotus, would you like to go next?
I would be more than happy to go next.
Aw, well, please.
Okay. I'm just going to show you what I've been working on recently, starting with a senior portraits session I did, which was kind of fun. And I got some shots that I thought were really nice. I'm with this young man named Tripp. We were in San Marcos, and there's this really nice park there, and there's some historical buildings in the park, and this is one of them. And so I just had him stand up there on the porch and jumped in the tree.
Nice. Tree climbing
And
is
after I
often
got
overlooked.
him to get the weird look on his face, like, what are you doing? Off of his face, I started taking pictures. So I've got a series, I've got 4 of the images that I shot with him in that session that I thought were really nice. I liked this one a lot. And then this one was really nice, I thought.
I like the color
And
on that.
it's really fun, I think, when you have the opportunity to shoot these, young kids, and they have such a great look. It's just as much fun for me as it is a job,
What kind of lens? What lens were you using for that?
I think with all of these, I was using my 24-105.
Okay.
And so we went into a little wooded park area after that, and I've got some kind of cool shots. He's a ukulele and a guitar player, so we had some stuff with his guitar, and this was with his uke. And then this is one of my favorites from this shoot, is him kind of doing the walking away thing with his guitar case on this really cool bridge that's also in the park. That park is a really great place to shoot a variety of portraits. Some really nice scenes there. And then another thing that I've been playing with lately is the kind of double exposure or overlay effect idea. In the Artist of Self-Portraiture this month, in the community we have a challenge, and the theme is those double exposures. So I've been messing with those a little bit to kind of figure out how to do it, because I've never really done that before with portraits. And so these are some of my recent attempts.
I really like that. The
This
eyes
one-
over the branches, like just the.
This one I actually did, I've done some of them in Photoshop with a technique that I learned from some tutorials. And this one I actually did on my phone last night.
Skills.
Okay.
I did it with a pretty neat app called Image Blender, which has really great controls. Much like Photoshop, you can choose the blend mode and do masking right there on your phone. I was actually impressed at how well I could control what I was doing on it. So
Wow.
Living
something
in the
to try.
future is amazing.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, it's on my phone.
This next one I also made on my phone last night
Nice.
with that same
Cool.
app. Just playing around with 2 different images, the image of the branches and then the one of me, and I did some masking, and I took some of it out and blended them together.
Hmm.
And then I did this one in Photoshop. This is a profile of my son. And the setting sun was behind him, so it was really great, or to the side of him, so it was really great lighting on that side, and then blended with a shot of trees.
What a lovely shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love all your pictures of your son. They're awesome.
He's pretty cute.
Yeah, you guys are great.
And then, excuse me, this is also another one where I was playing around with branches and a portrait of myself. And I used...
really nice.
Thank you.
The negative space is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to really get the technique down to make it work like that, the way I wanted it to. I had a lot of failed attempts before I got to that. So I was really happy with this one when it finally turned out the way I wanted it to.
So what you're saying is that with your work, it wasn't like you just sneezed and did it perfectly. It took time to grow and learn, and that you had the ache for your wonder.
Yes, sir. That's pretty much a general happening. I don't ever crap anything. It takes a while.
Well, it
There's
absolutely.
some pills you can take for that, you know.
Let's just try to eat some prunes or some apples.
I'm wearing an adult diaper, so I don't have to go during the hangout. You know.
Sure.
Moving on.
Information I did not need. If we start to hear funny sounds, we'll know what's happening. I have one more image to show, and this is an image I took recently because I was taking part in a theme, like a monthly theme that Susan Porter and Tisha Craw do, the Roy G. Biv theme.
Okay.
And they do a week where each day you have either recently taken or you take then an image where there's that color in the image predominantly or easy to see. So, you know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And on the last day, you do a rainbow theme. And so this was an image I took for the first day for red, which was fun. And I just went, there's a spot nearby where I like to go to shoot the sunset. There's a quarry area. And this is right before you go into where the kind of blasting area is. There's a little road, and that's the stop sign there. And I just pulled my car in there and got out and leaned up against the car and put my camera on shutter priority so that it would be going slow enough to kind of blur the movement of the vehicles. And I just waited. Every time a car came by, I shot it, and I shot for about 15 minutes in all. And during that time, I got, I think it was 5 different red vehicles, and this was my favorite. I just liked the way it looked, so it was my red day shot.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's touching the road, which is cool.
It looks like a hover vehicle or something,
It's
doesn't
from
it?
the future.
It's Luke's speeder thing.
And I had a lot of fun. That was a fun project to take part in. It was kind of a little extra motivation to shoot something extra that I wouldn't have gone out of my way to shoot otherwise during that time. And I really liked that. I got several images that week that I was happy that I had taken part in it because I wouldn't have gotten them otherwise. So I think I'm going to do that again with them. They do it every month. So
Oh, fun.
that's
Nice.
what I've been doing lately.
I like it.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. So who should go next?
Why not you?
Okay, how about me? All right, I will go next then. Well, I came prepared moderately today. I wanted to say a couple things. First of all, I wanted to say, Billy, congratulations on your first monthly episode, your first monthly show. For people that don't know, Billy has been doing this show for quite a while now, and it's been weekly, and this is the first monthly show, so it's going to be happening once a month, and I'm excited about that, and excited to see what you're able to come up with as you take that other time to transition to working on other projects and things like that. I'm very excited. So, do you want to say something after that?
It's now once a month. So, in the 4th week from now, there will be another episode. So there's 3 weeks in between where I don't do an episode, and I'm doing this so that I can actually dedicate more time to other projects that have taken my attention. Because doing the show once a week for over 2 years it's always a large time investment to organize a show and to get guests and to make certain that they know what to do and to do the show, and it's stressful. And it's just that, like my interests, like they tend to shift from place to place over time, and I tend to do the best work with what I'm currently interested in at a particular moment, and I just have to be aware of that and allow myself to actually shift interests. And at this moment, I feel like I need to downsize the show a little bit to allow myself to work on other interests, but at a particular point I may increase the show back to weekly. But if it would depend, like I'd imagine that if I was to do that, it would likely be at a point where I'm interested in a new community online and I've been interacting with them, and I have more people to invite to the show, and I want to hang out with them, that kind of thing. Because that kind of was a part of why I did this show in the first place, was because there was a lot of people I wanted to hang out with and that kind of thing. And not to say I don't want to hang out with people, but it's like the show it also is a little bit stressful in that it's different than just a regular hangout.
Well said, and thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for all the stress and time and energy and work and dedication you put into running this show for so long. And you've definitely enriched my life and the lives of other people I've talked to as well. So, thank you. And
I'm very thankful for the appreciation from everyone.
And this is a segue into what I was also going to talk about, which is back when Billy was starting this show, back in the spring of 2012, 2+ years ago, was around the time that him and I had talked when he was starting the show that I was going to retire, quit, leave my job as a registered massage therapist, and with like $250 set out on trying to go across Canada. And
Brave.
taking pictures and sharing those adventures and really wanting to just meet people, visit friends, and encourage people to think about their strengths and all of that. And I felt like it was something I really wanted to do, but I was always procrastinating. So if I just left and did it, then I'd have to find out a way to do it. Or I would, well, yeah, there were then no options. And I made it across in 7 months, and I made it across and back. It took me 7 months. I visited a lot of people, and I was a frequent guest on this show from other parts around the country. And all of that to say that tonight I'm really excited because it's Billy's first monthly show, and it's also like I'm going to release my ebook right now. So of my cross-country trip, my cross-Canada trip. So, yeah.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Nervous, exciting, yeah. So crossing the country and stepping out that door was sphincter-tighteningly frightening. And sitting here right now in this unknowing, how's it going to go? What's going to happen? Is it going to fall flat on its face? I don't know. This is a part of seeing in my dreams and my visions and what I'd like to do. And I'm hoping that I'm going to release this, and I want to now expand to a collaborative production house and release more volumes and do a lot more things, but I don't know. So it's kind of freaky and crazy. And I also wanted to say that we can see the questions. We're looking at the questions now for people who are asking questions. So if you want to ask there, I will look at those. Yeah. And I'm just going to share quickly a little bit of the book, because we also have a special cover for today. Can you see the picture there?
Yep, we see that.
Okay, so this is the special bonus cover for the Billy Show and my newsletter. So I'll send out that one. There'll be another cover for the other thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll skip the texty parts. You can look at those later. It starts with just talking about myself, what I was trying to do, what I wanted to do, and yeah, it's basically a travelogue with a lot of pictures, and then on the side there's thoughts. I have what I was feeling at those times, and the people that I met, the adventures. That's what I'm most excited about, is highlighting the fact that there's all of these incredible people out there. The guy on the right, Tyson Elder, rocketographer, who is passionate about going and doing concert photography in Victoria, British Columbia, on the West Coast, and around. And meeting these people, my friends Carson and Nicole, who are incredible photographers in their own right. They go out hiking and traveling and climbing all over Vancouver Island and beyond. Nicole just got back from Nepal. And there's all these people who have so much ability and wonder and potential, that, but you know, we ask, how can we do it? Are we good enough? And I wanted to go and say, like, you guys are freaking awesome. The guy on the left with the beard, amazing musician, finished his biology degree. Guy on the right on the toilet with the didgeridoo has gone into recording studio.
That's so hilarious.
And so, like, our world is full of amazing, wonderful people because we are all amazing and wonderful. And so, yeah, like, I wanted to go meet and encourage people. And this volume touches briefly just the top of that trip. And then I'm going to release following volumes where I'm going to interview and feature the work and the people I met, as well as tell more about that trip. I ended up helping. I stayed at a house in Vancouver. Like, I went where I was invited. So I slept on couches. I slept on floors. I slept in a field in Saskatchewan. Yeah. There's Sinead. Some of you guys might know her. She's an amazing photographer in Vancouver.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyways, do you guys have any questions? I get excited and talk a lot.
No questions. I want to say congrats. I know I've been following your progress for a long time, Jordan, and I think it all looks great, and you've had real perseverance and a lot of love for the project. So I want to give you a clap.
Thank you.
I think it's great.
Thank you very much. It's been 2 years that I haven't had a house, that I haven't had anything resembling a regular income, that I've been living in my backpack. And the thing I want to say is, like, I did not do this at all on my own. Like I feel so indebted to my friends and my family and the people who've let me stay, like, at their house and invited me to share this. Other people would plan it out and maybe put money aside and have a vision of their time and dates. And for me, it was like, I don't know, I'm scared, but I'm willing to go. And if anyone wants to help me be a part of that, then we'll do that journey together. It's like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, I don't really know the way, but, you know, hey. Except maybe I'm more like the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, I was going to ask which character are you?
Yeah, probably a bit more furry.
I'm the Tin Man.
There we go. We can do a road trip. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited and I'm nervous.
Where can people get your book? You're releasing it, so where can people get it?
Well, right now I'm releasing it. I'm going to release it through the conversation. Billy can put the links in the stuff where he's sharing for this.
Okay.
And in my newsletter. And then in a couple days, when I have the final copy, I have a cover that's being made for the whole final thing, and I'm going to release that one on my website, and it'll be in different places. So find me across social media, maplemusketeer.com, or yeah. Thank you for asking. I feel awkward now, so I'm going to be quiet. Tam, would you like to go, please?
Sure. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you, Jordan. That's really cool.
I want to go hide now.
Yeah. Look, you're blushing too.
I know.
As red as Lotus's hair.
Let's compliment
in my
him more.
background.
Let's move on. Please move on.
Billy, can you lock the screen on Jordan for a minute?
Yeah, there we go.
And now let's shower him with love.
No! I'm getting redder. I'm overheating. Tam.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at your discomfort, but
You're
it makes
welcome
it easier for
to.
me,
Everyone
so.
else does. I'm willing to be awkward.
So I have some news. I entered a picture over at ViewBug and ended up getting some pretty good recognition. I was done as a finalist, and then I just heard today that I got like runner-up. So, but in doing this one photo over there, they've also asked me to become a judge for one of their contests. So now I'm also judging one of their contests.
Yay!
The photo, it was a self-portrait that I did. And I'm going to bring it up real quick. Hang on. Okay, so this is the photo that I did. It's one of the self-portraits that I did that I'm working on a 52-week self-portrait project, and this is one of the ones that I have done.
That's amazing. Oh, So good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I remember seeing this.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites too. And I call it my saving grace. But so I entered this over at for the imagination contest over at Viewbug, and they loved it, and they said, they sent me this thing. They said, we've seen this picture. Congratulations on becoming one of the finalists for this contest. We would like to know if you would do this contest for us, if you would judge us a contest. And I was like, okay, cool, sure, I'll judge a contest. No problem. So I am now over at, and you guys should all come over and do this contest. The contest that I'm doing is the Blurry Backgrounds contest over at Viewbug. And you have the grand jury winner, that's the one that I pick, and then the People's Choice winner both win something. The grand jury winner gets an all-in-one Epson Expression Home XP 400 printer, a large canvas print, and then of course they've got their rewards point system set up over there, so you also get 450 of those.
Man, I bet you could do really good face scans with that thing.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I always.
I mean, I don't know who does stuff like that, but
yeah.
I bet you could. I should enter that contest. That wouldn't be a conflict of interest for you, would it, Tamara?
Oh yeah, no, not at all. Fortunately, though, they are actually going to pick the finalists for me, and then I will judge. So
we've never met before in real life.
Yeah. That's not good. So then, the People's Choice winner, and that's the one that they do votes over there. So the one who wins the voting portion of this gets the large canvas print, not a printer, but a nice canvas print. But it was pretty exciting. I was just like, yay.
Yeah, that's an honor. That's a great honor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful seeing your photography grow over the years. Like I love this with Google Plus. Like seeing your pictures, like they were great now they're even greater.
Oh, so what? No, what you're really saying is they were crap before, but they've gotten better.
No, they were really good before, and now like you're learning different techniques to add into that are freeing you up to like make your vision a reality even more. And it's
the pictures in my head are actually coming out.
Yes.
Which is better than the voices in your head coming out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got a problem with that?
I actually have conversations with them. That's how those visions come out.
Yes, Deshaun.
So then some of the other stuff that I've been working on, especially over at Google Plus, is a few years ago, Samir Osman and I started up what was called the Photography Death Matches. And we basically took photographers, pitted them against each other, picked a theme that we thought they did not have a whole lot of experience in, and made them take pictures within a week, and then they had to post pictures against each other. Well, he and I got very busy, with our own family life and things like that, and we had to stop it because it was taking up an incredible amount of time. Well, recently, I talked to him, and I restarted them, and they are still going. In fact, this next week, we will have a new match going. In fact, there'll be 2 of them.
2 death matches.
Oh, and it looks like Patrick had a question. Yeah, they said specifically on the contest, blurry background, not bokeh. So that's what they named their contest.
Maybe a less intimidating term for people.
Yes.
And you don't have to have any arguments about how you pronounce it. Blurry,
there you go.
blurry, blurry.
But so yes, I've started back up the death matches. There is a community. I think you can see it on my page, and I think you should be able to do a search for it. I do have it as you have to request to get in, because we were getting some okay, we were getting a lot of spammers, and it was getting out of hand. So we just nipped that in the bud, request to join in, and even if you don't join the community, you can still watch the matches. I announce them off of my profile every couple of weeks. So if you just keep a look out for those.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right.
And then okay, so yeah, I'm going to take up some more time here real quick.
Okay, 4 more minutes.
Yeah.
The very last thing that I have been working on is back in January, I went and got some high-tech format filters because I very badly wanted to learn how to use them. When I first got onto G+, and for a long time all I did was macro work, mostly floral macros. And so I talked to Jay and Verena Patel a lot, and at the beginning of January 2 years ago, I decided that's what I was going to learn. So I spent at least one day every month for the entire year just concentrating on how to shoot landscapes, because I mean you'd think that, oh well, it's just composition, you compose in macro work, you can compose in landscape work, but I had a lot of difficulty pulling back from the scene. So now I have gotten to the point where I'm incredibly comfortable taking landscape pictures, and these are some of the ones that I've taken just in the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to share those.
Ooh. Ooh.
Most of these are just taken, around our house. We live in the desert, and this time of year is actually not really known for having this kind of clouds. We typically just have straight blue skies, and they're pretty sunsets, but you see them all the time and they don't do much. We started getting these clouds coming in because the weather for us has been very odd. So I ran to shoot.
The mix of colors here is really beautiful. I like it. The blue and the kind of orange peachy color, and then the green in the foreground. It's really nice.
Thank you.
It's very calming too, like the palette there.
It was, I really thought that it was going to be a lot more colorful. Oh, see, I need to straighten the horizon on that one.
That's just your creative license.
Yeah. Everything's falling to one side.
We're sliding towards the cactus schlong.
I actually think that this one I was pulling into Photoshop to finish it off, because I want to take off like the sign right here and probably take this out and straighten the horizon a bit. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, because it's more realistic and natural, because there'll be like a lean.
Yeah.
Moving on. Aww.
This was actually after the sun had already set. So sometimes we get sunsets that last an incredibly long time, and sometimes they only last 5 minutes tops. And then we get these.
Yeah, I saw this. This was a favorite of mine.
These sunsets are my favorite ones.
How big is the cactusy rounded thing in the front?
This barrel cactus, it is maybe 1.5 feet tall.
Okay, because I've never encountered them in real life, so I don't have any scale on it.
The barrel cactus are not, typically they do not get very big unless they are very, very old. And even then they only get to be in about, I think, 4 feet tops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You live in a really neat place. I live in a rainforest. We don't have this.
Yeah, such a neat place that when I was done photographing for the night here, I ended up with cactus in my elbows.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Your sound went funky for me. What did you say? What was on your elbows?
Cacti. I had they're the little glow kids, so they weren't the big spines. Like these are big hook spines. And I zoomed in. Maybe it'll let me zoom in. These are big hook spines on the barrel cactus, and those things are at least as long as my finger.
Right.
The ones that yes, they're huge.
What did
The
you
ones
say?
that I got in my skin are the little itty bitty, teeny tiny little
fine hairs.
They're like
the
splinters.
fine hairs. They're called glow kids.
Terrible, because you can't get them out and they sting. They sting.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Well,
Yeah.
those are.
It was not fun.
We're gonna have to switch to the music time now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say thank you, like, for sharing that. It was beautiful. And I also wanted to interrupt quickly because in the question thing, I saw a comment from Julian Ortiz who said Deshaun was awesome earlier, and who also sent mate to me when I was in Halifax and liked my book. And so thank you. And Richard, who I will see at Drink and Click on Sunday, wants to buy me a beer, and I say yes to that beer. I'm done.
Listen, that nice for you.
Absolutely.
Time to get to our musical guest, Melissa Kaplan. And
Hey.
since I don't have the Pro Studio app working in this Hangout, can everyone else, other than Melissa, mute themselves while Melissa plays? But remember to unmute yourself to clap once she's finished, so it's not a pile of silent clapping. And I'll hand it over to you, and hopefully you put it into studio mode.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
good.
I did. I had a few technical difficulties at the beginning. Hey, so thank you for having me, Billy, and awesome to see all of your work. I don't take pictures, but I like pictures, and it all looks really great. So I don't have a lot of time, but these are a few songs from a one-woman musical I'm putting up in about a month in the place I've snuck into a studio right now, and I'm performing. I was in my car trying to do this, but it didn't work, so I just came in. So this is a song from the musical I've been working on for a while. It's called It Didn't Look This Way in My Head. I was unstoppable before the carnival. My life was valued and my mother called me strong. Now I'm so uncomfortable, it's almost remarkable. 1,000 miles from home, family looking on. I kinda wish I'd known before I ran towards the people need my new home. Think I may have put it mild when I said it didn't look this way in my head. Hours of tossing knives, how am I still alive? Arms only so long, reaching for the sky, but thoughts not limiting. I can do anything, but when I cut it close, I begin to question why. I kinda wish I'd known before I ran towards the people need my new home. Curse coming up, soon I'll be dead. It didn't look this way. Knives scattered on the floor. Breath short, my body sore. How much can I endure? Can I be done for the day? If you have an accordion, play now. I kinda wish I'd known before I ran towards the people we might know. Third is coming up, soon I'll be Thank you.
I want to know more about your musical.
More about the musical. So the musical has been a long-time project of mine that I finally just had space, great people with me and behind me, and recording time and personal time to just push it all out. So it was developed for a long time, and then it was like, okay, it's ready to go. It's in the spirit of Hedwig, which I don't know if you guys like Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's on Broadway right now. But it's a one-person crazy kind of musical with a band behind the singer who tells this kind of wild story. So I wanted to do something like that, but it's set in the turn of the century in a traveling circus, and it's about a knife juggler, and I juggle knives. I'm not playing guitar, I'm juggling knives. There's a band behind me.
You juggle real knives?
Hey, is there time for her to do that on the show tonight? I want to see.
I didn't bring my knives.
Oh, you're going to have to come back and juggle knives.
That's fine, I can... But yeah, I juggle knives, and I wrote the songs, I wrote the story, I'm performing in it. I don't sleep, and...
Cocaine is good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's great because doing it is one thing, but doing it well is another. So it's been a real learning process, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm feeling great about it, and I'm glad I'm just doing it because it's better to do the things in your head than to just think them and sit around and stick your thumb up your butt and think, oh, it would
What
be
a
really
great
cool
quote.
if yeah.
That's one.
Don't stick
I'm excited.
Things in your head than to think them and sit around with your thumb up your butt.
Yeah, unless
Unless
it's
you're
the right
thinking about it.
Melissa
situation.
Kaplan.
Yeah.
I'm going to quote you.
Thumb up butt. That's fine.
I liked it, the whole thing. I like it. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I have another song. I'll do. It's also from the musical. It's called As Far As You Go. And it's short. Tracking me down since I rolled into your town. My rep has followed me here. They call me deviant and shadow. How will this go? I'm not sure you want to know. 'Cause you can die at risk. You should be free of my shadow. Glad that you know my name. That's as far as you go. That's as far as you go. It's fine if you feel that way, but that's as far as you go. That's as far as you go. Oh, such a rush when you're falling for the nuts. The flesh shoots straight from the heels, makes the rest just seem hollow. You may be sold, but for me it won't take hold. I'm all for more blood again. I'm gonna leave you. Glad that you know my name, but that's as far as you go. That's as far as you go. The soul that you just can't save. That's as far as you go. That's as far as you go. Your magic will not make me stay. That's as far as you go. That's as far as you go. As far as you go. So lovely stunts, but I'll only tell you once. You will search for me here, but you won't see me tomorrow. Oh, with you, why no one can keep me glued. Just know there's no joy in this. I'm gonna leave you.
So good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is the point where I talk or sing more. So I'll sing more. I put this. I put a field of requests out, or I put a Facebook message out saying, I used to do this thing called Voicemail Wednesdays, where every Wednesday I would post on Facebook that if you sent me a message with your phone number, I would call you and leave a message on your voicemail that was a song that you requested. So it was kind of nice and fun. It's like leaving little love notes for people, but in song form.
Mm-hmm.
And I would take requests. So I took requests, not remembering that I had to do my own material here. So I got a request for my own material. So I'm going to take that. This is for Jeremy, longtime friend. It's a song from my old band. It's called Shake. And can you see me playing? You can't see me playing at all. This is kind of the weird thing.
See a little bit of the fretboard and stuff, so it works.
Yeah, so I'll do this over here. Framing is a... You guys know all about framing. You should be helping me.
You're just doing great.
Oh, whatever. Don't believe you. Okay. This is called Shake. Okay. I'm just having a band behind me. Come and walk slow. You know nothing can stop her. Tight lip, but so sure. And she's speaking not proper. Come to me with a problem. You don't care much if I'm tired. Knock, knock, knock on my window. Your engine still got a fire. But I'll stop shaking if you stop shaking. You stop sleeping around. I've been thinking it's getting better, but I get the feeling that you're up and down. I'll stop shaking if you stop shaking. You stop sleeping around. Always faking now. I'll stop shaking now. I'll stop shaking now. Always coming up bad time. There's too much shit in your system. I call you with your pants down. You're a kid on a mission. Come in, walk slow. You know nothing can stop her. Tight lip, but so sure, and she's speaking not proper. Yeah. Yeah. But I'll stop shaking if you stop shaking. You stop sleeping around. I've been thinking it's getting better, but I like it best when you're up and down. I'll stop shaking if you stop shaking. You stop sleeping around. Always faking now. I'll stop shaking now. I'll stop shaking. Yeah. I'll stop shaking if you stop shaking now. I'll stop shaking if you stop sleeping now. I'll stop shaking you. I'll stop shaking around. How? Yeah. I never know what to do at the end of songs. The end. Cool.
That was awesome.
Great. It's been about an hour, so it is about time to end the show, and I do this once a month at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, can I call out my URL? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
if you
yeah.
like it, follow it.
Yeah, it's right there on your lower third.
Cool.
And I'd like to thank everyone for joining and everyone else for watching. And you can keep up with my show and projects and all that kind of stuff by either subscribing to me on YouTube or following me on Google+. You'll get more content. Of course, follow me on Google+, because I can post all the other stuff. And you can help support me, my projects, and Tibby and all that by pledging support. And meanwhile, I do over on patreon.com/Billy Wilson. And that allows me to be able to live and eat and that kind of stuff. And I'm very grateful for all the support that I've gotten through Patreon. And that's URL right there. And we'll see you next time.
Ooh.
Thanks, Billy.
Good night.
Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you, Billy.